In the past year, the IRS has hired 87,000 agents, has acquired 5 million rounds of ammunition, thousands of pistols, thousands of shotguns, thousands of automatic rifles, as well as a variety of military weapons. Now, this came out last summer, but it has actually happened now in the meantime. But the White House has declared that this was only to hire administrative people and really go after the richest of the rich, the wealthiest in this country, who are somehow evading taxes. Well, let's kind of start with, they're now hiring ads, in quotes, had must be willing to use deadly force. $80 billion were declared to fund this, all part of what's referred to as the Inflation Reduction Act. 100% of Democrats voted for it, and 100% of Republicans voted against it. But let's just see, really, is this an effort to help just go after the wealthy? Well, let's say 14 times the amount of money is going towards enforcement than taxpayer services. So what is enforcement? It's audit enforcement. Well, if they're going after the wealthy and they hire 87,000 people and they need 5 million rounds of ammo and all the guns that could support that amount of ammunition, there's only 700 billionaires in this country. So I'm not a mathematician, but if you're going after 700 billionaires, you probably need 700 auditors. And I'm sure before the 87,000, there was way more than 700. Now, this is a militarization. Now, if they're hiring people that must be willing to use deadly force, maybe it's a policing effort for the auditors to be safe and secure, but here's why it's a militarization and not a policing effort. Let's start with, the Inspector General did 229 interviews of citizens that received this, in quotes, audit enforcement. 0 of them had any sort of rights read or statement of rights. 0 of them got prior notification. And only 18% of them had any prior notification of seizures of assets and property. More so, tax investigations of 252 legal source cases show that out of 252 cases of audit enforcement, only 21 of them had any sort of actual tax law violations found at all. That's only 9%. So why? Why are they doing this? Because it's definitely not to go after the 700 billionaires. We're talking 87,000 people who answered some sort of a job that gave a description of must be willing to use deadly force. So why? The militarization of the IRS is for illegal seizure of property. That's what it's for, because anybody that gets in their way, they're just going to seize their property. Now, what can you do about it? Nothing. There's nothing you could do about it. You could fight it in court, and chances are you're going to be of the 92% that had just their property seized illegally. This particular group of Democrats that are running this country definitely have their eyes set on some seizure of assets and property, and it's not from 700 billionaires. Maybe some of it will be, I doubt it, because many of them are obviously contributors to their campaigns. It's going to go towards people like me and you is what that is. Anybody that steps on their toes, anybody that gets in their way, or anybody that just maybe is against their ideology. Any thoughts or insight on that, definitely put it below. If you like this video, click like and subscribe. Feel called to support this channel with Patreon. That link is also below. But the most important part of this channel, we take prayer requests. So please don't ever hesitate to send that in. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guns. And as always, love God, love your family, and love guns.